Our top story tonight is about Gaza. We all know what's happening there, but no longer can we afford to look the other way. In Gaza, tragedy has now become a part of daily life, one that shows how hunger itself has become a death sentence. On Sunday, Israeli forces opened fire on crowds of Palestinians. They were not militants. They were not carrying weapons. They were just hungry Palestinians waiting for food. At least 93 people were killed and dozens more were injured. They are all gathered to collect humanitarian aid, food that Gaza has run out of thanks to the ongoing war. Witnesses have narrated the horror, describing it as doomsday. Doomsday because of what Gaza looks like right now. Take a look.
I struggled to reach the truck and grabbed a bag of flour. Suddenly, I was hit in the head and lost consciousness. What's happening there is a massacre. Young men are dying for food. My other brother was killed there yesterday. He had 5 children who are now orphans. Both their parents died. I went just to get flour so they could eat.
Well, just imagine that, being killed for a bag of wheat. Children left orphaned because their father went out looking for food. That's the story of Gaza. But deaths of ordinary civilians seeking aid has now become a routine in Gaza. The UN says nearly 800 aid seekers have been killed since late May. They have been killed while waiting for food. They have been killed on routes where aid convoys pass. The World Food Programme has called it completely unacceptable, and according to WFP, 1 in 3 people in Gaza are now not eating for days, and thousands are on the verge of catastrophic hunger. And today, Gaza hospitals overflowed not just with the wounded from Israeli strikes, but also children dying of malnutrition. At least 71 children have died of hunger during this war, and 60,000 others are suffering from malnutrition symptoms. 18 people died of hunger just yesterday. As a result, parents are reportedly skipping meals for days. Families now say that those who did not die of bombs in Gaza are now dying of hunger. Meanwhile, Israeli strikes continue. On Monday, footage showed an Israeli missile hitting a building in Gaza City. Tanks have now pushed into Deir al-Balah in the south, an area where Israel believes some Israeli hostages are still being held. At least 20 have been killed by Israeli fire in Gaza on Monday alone. What's more, Israel has now ordered more evacuations, but the question right now is, where will people go in Gaza? The UN says 87.8% of Gaza is under displacement orders or are militarized zones. That leaves 2 million Palestinians squeezed into just 12% of the Gaza Strip. Essential services have collapsed. Meanwhile, indirect ceasefire talks continue between Israel and Hamas. A proposed 60-day truce and a hostage deal are on the table. But so far, no breakthrough. Some believe Israel's push into Deir al-Balah is perhaps to pressure Hamas for more concessions. But Israeli hostage families fear that this offensive might kill their loved ones. Of the 251 Israeli hostages that were taken by Hamas in 2023, as of now, 49 remain in Gaza, with Israel saying at least 27 of them are dead. Remember, this war began on October 7, 2023, when Hamas militants stormed into Israel, killing 1,200 people and taking Israeli hostages. Since then, Israel's campaign in Gaza has killed more than 58,000 Palestinians, displaced almost the entire population, and pushed the enclave into a humanitarian catastrophe. And now what we are seeing is that food has become a death sentence, and seeking bread is met with Israeli bullets in Gaza.